No, 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 no. The miniature Pop Tarts are no competition with the actual regular size Pop Tarts. You can try it. You can try to maybe add 10 of them together to actually equal the same size of an individual Pop Tart, but they do not taste the same. We can go back and forth on this for. Oh! Hello, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to the playlist of CSS. We are going to be covering today, let's see, font weight and font style. So let's go on ahead because we got a lot of markup to actually paste in, and we are going to knock out font weight and font style properties. All right, enjoy. Let's get to it. Do it. I don't know why I keep trying to do that. All right, so let's go on ahead. Let's open up Visual Studio Code, which we have opened up on our screen to the right. And what we're going to do is create two new files. One of those files is going to be, since we're working with font weight, let's just call it that, font weight and style, which will be font style. All right, and we're going to add another file. Oh, okay, that's going to be our CSS file, so we'll just call it the same thing. We could just put styles, but I like to just kind of put them together just like this. .css. That's good. Let's open this up with live server just so we can see if our changes are actually working. Give that a second to open up. Slide that over to the right. And we'll close this out. And I think that'll work out just right. So let's see here. Now, if you've been following along with the actual series, you know that we've had a bare bones boilerplate with the exclamation mark. We're going to add in the actual styles file just to make sure that that's linked together. And what did we call it here? Font weight and styles. That's perfect. We'll change the title here to just weight and style. Okay, let's do a refresh. I see the title is there, so that means that is looking good. And let's just test the body to make sure that that's actually working. Let's, let's go on ahead and actually let's just add our markup, and then we can play around with the actual font weights. So let's go on ahead and add a couple of elements here. Okay, I'm going to add one paragraph, and I'm going to give it a class of bold. And we're going to add some dummy text in here using lorem 20. And just so we can see that, let's just chop that up a little bit so we can see it on the screen a little better. All right, that's perfect. And so we got a paragraph up there, and let's add something above this just to see what we're working with. An H1, and we'll just call it let's see the bold. Okay, that's good. And let's copy this up. Select the whole thing, Control C to copy or Command key. Go below it and Control V or Command V to paste. And I'm going to give this a different class. We're going to just call this normal. And all of this will come together once we actually get to the CSS file. Okay, and for this one here, yeah, we won't add in the font weight as of yet. Let's see here. Let's go on ahead, and we had it copied already. Let's go on ahead and copy it again. Well, actually, let's see. Below here will be our font style, so or at least the actual font style property. But down there, we'll just use an H2 here, and we'll just call it let's see the font style. Let's spell that right. Okay, good. And we'll add some more to that a little bit after. So let's work with this here. We're trying to actually work with the actual font styles here, or the actual font weights. So go open up our CSS file here. as my mouse wants to work. And let's split this down by right-clicking on the tab and split down. Then we can close this and we can still look at our markup. And the first thing we're going to do is let's actually add the bold. So we have a class here. And in order to target that, I'll just do .bold because that's the class name. Open up the rule with the curly brackets or curly braces. And I'm going to use the font weight. That's the actual property name to actually adjust the font weight, and just as it sounds, bold. So now what we have here is if we look up here, the difference of the two paragraphs, one is not bold, one is, and that's just by adjusting the bold. And now this class normal, this is actually just the normal weight. So how's that going to affect us here? Well, it's already at a font weight of normal. That's the default right there. So what we're going to need to do is let's go to our markup and let's add the actual style directly in here. So we'll just add an inline style. We'll say style equals font weight and with the value of bold. Okay, so now we see that they're both bold. This one's bold because we're using the class bold, which is right here. The second paragraph is now bold because we're adding the inline style of font weight bold. Different ways to add the actual styles themselves. But now that it's like that, now what we can do is actually override that by saying, let's see here, did we add a class here? Okay, this is good. We have the class normal, so let's actually use that. Class normal, open up the rule, and then what we're going to do is just add the font weight. And that font weight is going to be normal. Okay, but because it is an inline style within our actual markup right here, that has a higher precedence of this one here, of the actual style sheet. So what we're going to do is just override that by adding the important. So that will take precedence. And now we can see that the font weight is now normal. Okay, good, good, good. So that's pretty much that when it comes to the actual bold or the font weight. So that, I'm just looking here. This is good. Let's actually add, let's see here. We have, let's see the font style. So what we can do here is add some more markup. This way we can actually see the font weight versus the font style. So we'll go below here and let's copy this paragraph, paste it below, and we'll keep that class, and what we'll do is add font style after it. And let's see, we're not going to be using font weight here, we're going to be using font style. Oh, what happened there? All right, and we're going to give it the italic property, or the italic value itself. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, so we see on the screen that it's actually, instead of normal, if I get rid of that just so you can see. Okay, now it's normal, so there's no font style there. And place the font style italic, and now it's kind of slanted off to the right. Okay, so now what we can do with that is override that. All right, so we have font style here. We'll go below here, and we're going to use the normal underscore style as the class. Normal underscore style, that's the class name. Open up the actual rule for the actual style itself, or for that selector. And then what we can do here is add the declarations, in which that's going to be a property and the actual value. And in this case, we're using font style, as you've seen already. And what type of style do we want? We want a normal style. Now looking to on our screen to the left, there's no change there, and that's because we have an inline style of font style italic. So what we're going to do here is place important here, just so we can override that. Okay, and now we see that the font style is back to normal. So that's if you happen to actually bump into the font style that was already italic from maybe a different CSS file. And then of course, sometimes you may have to override something. You know, when you're debugging these things, when your boss comes to you and says, hey, you know, we got to get rid of all the italics, but we need some italics in some areas, you might have an inline style, you might have a separate style sheet, you might have a different style sheet brought in from a CSS framework. So and this is just one of those reasons why we just try to show you different ways to actually change CSS properties or HTML elements. All right, so that is that here. We do need to actually see a little bit more. So let's go on ahead and copy this, and we'll go on ahead and paste it right here, and we'll use the italic style since you've already seen it. Italic style, we can get rid of this, and we'll actually just change that because right now we have a normal text in the second paragraph. So let's go on ahead and target that within our styles. I'll just go below it here. And we're dealing with the font style property and just making sure that it is set to italic. And there it is. We have normal here and we have italic here. Good, good, good. So the last one, this one's a tough one to actually showcase, but we'll place it in there anyways. It is going to look very similar to the italic style, but it's called Oblique. Let's see here. So Oblique, and the only way you're gonna see this is if you actually feel like taking a look and seeing, okay, what type of typeface. There's certain typefaces that actually showcase this oblique style a little bit better. I have yet to have found that as of yet, but I will place it in here just for completeness. So let's go on ahead, add this class to the actual style sheet below, paste that bad boy in, and give it a font weight. Right now it's set to normal, but oh, I'm sorry, not font weight, font style, and set that to oblique. And it, well, you know what, actually now that I'm kind of looking at it, I'm looking at this here and this, oh man, that looks very close, very, very close. I'm gonna need a better eye for that, but maybe someone else out there can tell me a better typeface within a better font family value, which will actually showcase the oblique font style value. Okay, but other than that, there you have it. There is your font weights and your font styles. Yet another CSS value property rule that you can actually use and add to your arsenal. And again, subscribe to the actual channel. Hit the actual notification so you don't have to come back looking to see when something was actually released. But if you subscribe, you'll actually get them. I believe they'll actually go directly to your feed when you're scrolling. So go on ahead and do that. Hit the like button. And if there's something else there you want to see, before we actually get to actually building websites and we're just kind of tackling these, the bits and pieces, go on ahead and leave a comment or email me directly and we can go on ahead and showcase something for you. All right. Other than that, full stack out.